This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I'm trapped in a haunted movie theater, and I want out of here. Everybody's Talking About Jamie is a new British musical comedy drama from director Jonathan Butterell, adapting the stage musical of the same name, based on a documentary of a different name. This film focuses on Jamie New, an openly gay 16-year-old who sees a future in entertainment, much to the dismay of one of his teachers. Willing to prove himself, he makes up a plan to attend senior prom in drag, further surprising friends, family, and others around him, and most of all himself, as he comes to learn more about the drag culture, its history, and his own place within it. Or, well, that's what the movie wants to be, I think. In practice, it really only focuses on the last of these, sticking more to convention and formula than anything more explorative of the scene. There is a bit of the film where Jamie meets a member of the scene in its golden age and learns of its history, complete with a sudden tonal shift as he talks about how the AIDS crisis affected everybody. But after this, there's nothing else to be taught, and the film shifts right back to the present day and the focus on Jamie's own experiences. On that note, the overall story seems to prefer to play things safe rather than offer any greater challenge to Jamie or a greater conflict other than simple forms of intolerance. That is, over the course of the film, he's never really challenged, and everything seems to simply just work out for him up until the movie remembers that he ought to have some sort of issue to overcome, and even so, that's pretty much ironed out within the few scenes. In any case, being a musical, Everybody's Talking About Jamie also has a good amount of flair in its musical numbers, which are perhaps the most visually creative parts of the film. Yet, they still have a bit of an issue in that some of the songs are a bit samey, both in visual elements, such as color choices that tend to blend things together, and camera angles that further blur what you're supposed to look for with the background, and audibly in that the individual songs themselves don't really stand out from each other, or at least none of the songs stick out in my mind. The songs come in, get the job done, and leave the characters right where they were when they started, with only a few cases where they actually do something to advance the story during the song. So, in the end, Everybody's Talking About Jamie is, somewhat ironically, not really a movie worth talking about, at least at length. It wants to reach something a bit more inspirational and profound, but holds itself back from really being able to hit that mark. Instead, it embraces a more generic story that subsequently makes everything less interesting overall. The story is based on true events, and we get glimpses of that true life story in the film's credits. But at that point, you end up wishing that you had been able to watch that instead of the more easily marketable film. Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Jonathan Butterell, 2021. 1.5 stars. I wouldn't really recommend it. Actually, I think I'd recommend Hedwig and the Angry Inch if you want a musical with similar themes but handled better. And if you'd like a movie that actually looks at drag culture with deeper insight, I'd recommend Paris is Burning as well. Anyways, that's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to comment, do so below. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews in the future. I wonder if I've seen enough movies now to start recommending them at the end of reviews. Guess I'll have to make a note of that over time.